comic book creators scream all the time, I have a film option, I have a film option. That don't mean shit.
Hey, yo, indie comics book guys, your guy here, Joe D Mcfee from the CGC Studios, got another question for you. Want you to kind of put a little bit of spin on this question here. Why is it that you have creators nowadays looking for the bigger, better deal with Netflix and everything without developing their core concept first? To me, it seems kind of backwards when people are up here as like, hey, I got this great idea, but there's no proof of concept when it's put into play. Meaning that come up with a great idea for a story, but you don't write the story, you don't write the scripting, you don't do any of the other portions to put it out there in some other medium before you try to get that big Netflix deal or that movie deal and stuff to that magnitude. So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Good question. Let's try to sum it up. For the last 4, 5, 6 years, people have been complaining. Oh, they're writing that comic to get a Netflix deal. They're making that comic to get a movie deal. They're making that comic to get a cartoon deal. Blah, 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 blah. If they are, so what? Real talk. People are writing comics in hopes of getting that Netflix deal, that Amazon deal, that HBO Max deal, or whatever the case may be. It's happening. But to Joe's point, people are creating concepts in their head. They're not making a proof of concept to land that deal. Some people are, most of them aren't. It's created a big problem in the creative community. I'm one of those people, every time I hear people like, I got a film option. I'm like, so? The creator of Black Alpha, for example, he's been screaming he has a film option for years. This may be true. Have we seen anything developed? No. Recently, the antagonists, they went around and say, hey, we got a film option. Cool. Have we seen anything made? No. Why? Why haven't we seen anything made? You see, and these are just a couple examples.
You see, comic book creators scream all the time, I have a film option, I have a film option. That don't mean shit.
What is a film option or a TV option, whatever you want to call it? Essentially, a producer or a company will come to you and they will say, hey, we want the film, television, multimedia rights to your property for X amount of years, and they'll buy it from you. Sometimes there's not even cash involved. It's a back-end deal. Hey, if we sell this to a studio, whatever, we'll pay you blah, blah, blah. A lot of times there's not any cash involved. Depends on how big the producer or the production company is that approaches you. Broham Entertainment, they're the ones that brought the film rights for the antagonists. Now, look up Broham Entertainment. You'll notice that they really haven't done much aside from, some short films and things of that nature. So, seeing the antagonists on the big screen with this small production company is going to be iffy. Hopefully it will be made. I would love to see it. But with a small production company like this that's only really made short films, my confidence isn't there. Let's just say that. Been around the film and television industry long enough to know who has pull and who doesn't. But hopefully I'm wrong. I want to see, this made into a television series or whatever. Yeah, Broham Entertainment, guy. I believe his name's Noel Broham. He's the founder. I got high hopes. You know, I gotta wait and see attitude. Let's be honest. Gotta wait and see attitude because a lot of times, again, these film options, they're nowheresville. It's just the film options, TV options. A lot of times it's just talk. They can't sell it. They can't sell it. We'll see. Why do people want to just go straight to the finish line without even coming up with a product and testing the waters to see if there's a market for said product? Clout. People are in love with the illusion of success more than success. People are in love with the illusion. That's why you see so many Kickstarters. First 3 days, oh, we're 50% funded. Oh, we're 75% funded. Yeah, of course you are, because you put your own money in it to force that number up. That way, people from the outside looking in, they're like, oh, wow, it's only 1-2 days and they're already 50%. This must be a good product. Let me back it. Same thing has happened in the music industry for years. Record companies would buy, I say, a Lil Wayne album. First week, they would buy half of those albums to make it go gold the first week, or platinum, or whatever the case may be, to create that illusion of success. And like it or not, people, fans, they're clout chasers in a sense, as far as they're looking at everyone's numbers. They're looking at everyone's numbers. And when it comes to independent comic books, the only gauge as far as numbers people have are their crowdfunding numbers. Oh, this one did 5,000. This one did 10,000. That one did 20,000. Whatever the case may be. That's the gauge. Indiegogo, Kickstarter. And this is the problem I tell people I have with Eric July, aka Young Ripper's crowdfunding effort for ISOM #1. We cannot verify these numbers because it's on his personal website. So I can't, and you can't verify if he really made $3 million or not. We have to go by his word, his website. You can manipulate the numbers any way you like. You can manipulate the numbers any way you like. So if you have this creator, he has an idea, super duper man, toughest, most dopest superhero ever. I don't have an artist. I'm just gonna tell y'all about my story and gonna pitch it to everyone. Is there anything wrong with that? That's how movies are made. You pitch your movie to film executives, to production studios, blah 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 blah, industry insiders, agents. You pitch it here and there until you get some traction on it. What people don't tell you is, without an agent, you're not going to get in that room with these producers, studio execs, etc. There's conventions all around town where you can pitch your idea, pitch your movie, pitch your TV show to producers, studios, etc. You get 3 minutes, you might get 5 minutes if you're lucky to sell your dream. Now, are a lot of comic book writers hanging out at these film, television conventions? No. They're not. Let's be honest. They're not hanging around at these conventions, at these meet and greets, at these festivals. I haven't seen none of y'all at the Austin Film Festival, at the Denver Film Festival, etc. that are strictly focused on comics. Some people are writers. They write everything. Film, cartoons, animation, manga, comics, whatever, plays, poems. They do it all. But then you got some people, they only want to write comic books. Nothing wrong with that. But anyone who's ever made comics, after a while, they realize there's not that much money in it. It's not that much money to be made in the comic book itself. Now, if this comic book gets noticed and people approach you, which that can happen, it can happen. You're gonna need entertainment lawyers. You're gonna need a manager, agent. You're gonna need people in your ear to navigate Hollywood. That way, you do not get screwed over and you end up selling your IP. I remember years ago, Ben Dunn, founder of Antarctic Press, Ninja High School, he sold the Warrior Nun IP. 100% sold it. So now, Warrior Nun's on Netflix. He had nothing to do with that deal. He's kicking himself because he's like, damn, I'm not even making $1 out of this. But he never knew that IP would potentially would become a Netflix series. Had no clue. He was like, Ninja High School's my baby. I need the money. Here, you can have this. Sometimes people see the value in the things that you throw away. Sometimes people see the value in the things you throw away. I used to be on this, it was called Hero Talk. It was a message board, a forum full of black independent comic creators. Someone asked the question, would you sell your IP for $20 million if the studio wanted to make your character white instead of black? $20 million. Now, I told the story before, so if you heard it, I'm saying it again. A lot of people are like, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Not for $20 million. Gonna make my character white. Fuck that. $20 million? And I'm asking you, my
Chat nerds, would you change the race or sex, gender, whatever of your character if someone wanted to make a movie out of it for $20 million?
I'm in the camp of, hell yeah, $20 million is life-changing money. Life-changing money. My principles can wait because I'm a writer for myself and others. I can create other characters. But $20 million, I'm not turning that down. I'm sorry, I'm going to sell out, as some people say. Oddly enough, in this discussion, a lot of people are like, no, wouldn't do it, no, have no interest, ew, 20 million is icky, no, won't do it, you're not changing my Black King, no, forget it. I'm like, okay. But what is the proof of concept when you do have a comic book? Is the comic book itself your proof of concept? Is the proof of concept your comic book? Or do you have to actually go out there and sell your comic book? Black Sands got their deal because they had the numbers to back up what they were saying. We sold 180,000 issues. We sold DVDs. We sold this. We sold that. To me, that's the proof of concept because you can have a cool idea and it just sits there collecting dust. No one wants it. But if you can show with sales data that you're building an audience, this is business 101, and that people want that product, now you got people curious about it. They're going to circle around. You won't have to go to these pitch meetings. You won't have to chase an agent, chase down a studio exec in Starbucks for whatever reason. People will come to you. You made your IP valuable. A lot of people are screaming, creative rights, creative rights. But their IP is worthless at this moment. I don't care how good or bad it is. Right now, it's worth $0 because they failed to set it up as a business and make it worth something more than the pen and ink that it was produced on. Hopefully this answers Joe's question and gets you to thinking about your comic book. do you really want it to exist just as a comic book, or do you want to have that movie or TV deal? Where do you want it to go? If your proof of concept is your physical book, what are you doing to turn that book into a movie? What are you doing to generate sales to get it noticed? I see the homeless homeboy guy. He's out there in the streets every day. Barbershops, street corners. He's selling this book like he's selling drugs. He's building his fan base. If you're just hanging around Kickstarter all day, looking for backers, is that really building your fan base? Because most comic book readers, not creators, readers are not hanging around crowdfunding platforms in large numbers. They're not. Let's be honest. But I still want to know why people in the comic book industry feel that it's such a bad thing to create a comic book in hopes of it becoming a movie or television show. Why is that a bad thing? Why is this hashtag they're trying to get a Netflix deal such a bad thing? When people know there ain't that much money in this field. You got kids to eat, mortgages to pay, car note, light bill. A lot of us are not going to be able to pay all that making comics. Let's keep it a buck. That $20 million may come in handy sooner than you think.